So let's start our first program on class. Here first include iostream. That means hash means directory, iostream means header file, and include what it means that preprocessor is telling the compiler that it must include the header files before the actual compilation start, so that these header files contain the definition of the functions and variable that we're gonna use in our program. So that's why preprocessor is so important, because before actual compilation starts, it is giving instruction to compiler that it must include header files. Next, include conio.h. Here it is also a header file, and it contains the definition of keywords like cout, cin. Cout is used for printing statement on the screen, and cin used to take the input from the user. Now we'll use using namespace standard. What that means? That means there may be more than one function of the same name, same type in the different libraries. So in order to differentiate them, we are using namespace standard. Here std is namespace. Now we'll define class. Start with the keyword class, name of your class ABC. Now scope. Remember one thing, your C++ scope or the scope of the class should end with a semicolon. Okay, now let us define two variables, that is character name. Let's take memory up to 30. Now integer type age. Here character and integer are data types. Data types what means what type of data the variable will be holding. Okay, now let us use an access modifier, that is public. That means whatever we are defining in this section of that public modifier will be accessible from outside the class. Okay, let us define two functions. First is get data and scope. So what void means, that the function won't be returning an integer value. Okay, and in that function, in get data function, will take the data, will input the data from the user. Okay, so first cout. Cout is used for printing statement on the output screen. Then put to operator. Put to operator means whatever on the left side should be passed to the right side. So we'll prompt user to enter the name. Okay, now cin will taking the value from the user name. Your every statement in C++ should end with a semicolon. Okay, now cout will ask user to enter the age. Cin age. Now our function is complete. In this function we are taking the value from the user, so that is quite easy. Now we need to print these values on the output screen, so we'll create a function again, this time void display scope. Here what we're gonna do is cout name. Name should be whatever the user has passed in the cin section of the get data, and we want our data to be shown in the next line. So we are using \n. Okay. Now cout age, here age, and that's it. Okay, so our function is completed. Both the functions are done. Now whatever we have done here, you know what that means. We have just declared the class that contains two variables, that is name and age, and two member functions that will work on it, that is getData and display. Now we just need to create our main program, because there should be one main program, and that main program is the entry point of your programming, or whatever you have just written in the program. Your compiler will start reading everything from this main program. Okay, so int main scope. Now, as we just learned that class is itself a data type, and it doesn't hold any value. It is a kind of a data type, a user-defined data type. And object is the runtime entity, and your class is the collection of objects of similar type. So in order to access the class, we need to define object of that data type, that is class data type. Okay, so what was our class name? That is ABC class name, and we need to define an object, that is A1. You can name whatever you want. Here what we are seeing here is that A1, that is an object, is in fact a variable of type ABC, and that ABC is class. Okay, now these objects can access the member function of that class. And what is the syntax then? A1, that is the object you just defined, dot operator. Okay, dot operator. So what is the function of that dot operator? Dot operator helps the object to access the members of the class. Okay, now A1, that is object, will inherit the properties and methods of the function getData. So we'll call getData here, and with this here it means that A1, that is object, will inherit the properties and methods of getData. So whatever the data is in the function getData will be passed to A1, and A1 is like a container, and object is like a container, so it will hold every value. Now A1 dot, this time display. So in this way A1 will now contain the value of name and age, and it will display it. The main function has a data type int, so our main function should return a value, an integer type value, after the successful execution of our program. Now our program is complete. Now save it, compile it, see, no error, run it. Here please enter the name. My name is Akash, age 24. So here is getting the value name Akash, age 24, and after the successful execution of our program, it is returning with the value 0. Press any key to continue this. So it was an easy program, don't you think? So what we just done here is that first we include header files, that is iostream and conio.h. Then we are using namespace standard to differentiate the values and the function names, that is sometimes similar in different libraries. After that we define the class with a class data type ABC. In the class ABC there are two variables, that is name and age. In that there are two member functions, that is getData and display. Get data is taking the value from the user, display just showing the values to the output screen. After that, we created a main program that is int main. Here we need to define object of the class data type ABC, that A1 that inherits the property of get data, A1 that displaying the value which is in the variable name and age. After the successful execution, it is returning with the value 0. So in this way, this was our first program on class. If you like the video, please like it, subscribe it, and please comment below. We'll meet in the next section. Thank you.